If you're looking for the guitar pedals for beginners, here's a list you must see. As a beginner guitarist, the amount of new and exciting things to buy can be pretty overwhelming, and that's even without thinking about the best guitar pedals for beginners. If you're not completely au fait with your pedal types, styles, brands, and the sounds they produce, then buying your first few or building your first pedal board is only ever going to be a difficult task. It seems like more new pedals are released every week by more new pedal brands, so it's important for you to know which are the best guitar pedals for beginners and which pedals are worth avoiding like the plague. If you want to get a good quality guitar pedals for beginners according to your needs, then watch the video till the end and then decide to buy. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Niox Steel Singer Drive. The Steel Singer Drive from Niox is one of the best low to mid-gain overdrive pedals on the market today. While it may not sound as sophisticated as some of the most high-end pedals out there, the exceptional price and build quality makes it a bit of a no-brainer, especially if you're new to the world of effects pedals. This pedal is, essentially, a clone of the Steel String by Vertex Effects, a pedal which retails at around $PS200. Pedal cloning is a very common thing to happen in the world of guitar effects, and especially for beginners, it's something to take advantage of. The real pedal never sounds that much better than the clone. In this case, you can get the sound of the iconic Dunlop amp for hardly any cash, so we think it's worth it. All we'd say about this Niox pedal and any super cheap pedal, for that matter, is that we're actually a bit suspicious of how cheap this pedal is. Especially considering how solid it feels. We don't really understand how it can only cost this much money. We're deciding to not ask too many questions though, and just buy one instead. Or two. Moving on to the next at number 2, with Electro-Harmonix Big Muff Nano Fuzz Pedal. Memorably described to us by one guitarist as a Hoover, the Big Muff has been modded, cloned, reissued, rebuilt, and redesigned more than almost any other pedal in existence. With a distinctive scoop in the guitar mids, the muff can mean that you get lost in a band mix. It's like the anti-tube screamer in terms of EQ profile, but when it works, there's little else that has the same visceral impact. Very broadly speaking, there's about 5 main versions, although in total there are over 30 versions by our count, with passionate fans of each, and it's on these that the current crop of EHX Big Muffs are based. The most common is the NYC Muff, which is available as the Nano Big Muff, while there's also several others, the Ram's Head, Triangle, Op Amp, and Russian. We could go on about them for days, but the lowdown is this: the Russian is more woolly, think Sonic used 100%, the Op Amp is more compressed, and the version that Smashing Pumpkins used on their classic Siamese Dream LP. The Ram's Head is closer to a Dinosaur Jr. type tone. The Triangle is more old school, a bit smoother, and more articulate than the NYC to our ear. The number 3 position is held by Boss BD2 Blues Driver. You'll be pleased to know that, as a beginner, you don't need to spend loads of money to get a professional quality tone. Boss pedals are some of the most popular and iconic pedals on the market, and the Blues Driver is one of the very best, having been played by the likes of Prince, Tom Morello, and Billy Joe Armstrong, and now you. It's quite apparent that the Blues Driver is great at taking care of all those low and mid-gain tones, but when paired with the right amp, it can take on the higher gain tones too. This makes it great for those flurries of hard rock riffing that you may encounter. The BD2 can even act as a great, clean-ish boost for stacking with other pedals. The tone is fairly warm and rounded, meaning that your gain tones will sound satisfying no matter what settings you use. It's not really a metal-friendly pedal, but that's really all it can do. The versatility of the Blues Driver makes the slightly higher price more than worth it, and you won't grow out of it either. Next at number 4, we have Electro-Harmonix Neo Clone. The Neoclone produces one of the most iconic chorus sounds in the world. It's a recreation of the original EHX small clone, the chorus pedal that helped Kurt Cobain capture the hearts of millions with that iconic underwater tone, and lo and behold, it sounds great. The Neoclone, much like the large majority of Electro-Harmonix products, is a super simple pedal. 2 different types of chorus depth can be accessed via the switch on the front, with the effect rate being the main tweakable parameter on board. It sounds too simple, really, but we found that Electro-Harmonix pedals tend to have that special something which makes us never want to let go. It's a simple pedal, which just sounds great. No frills, just great chorus. There's no chorus pedal more beginner-friendly than the Neoclone, and when you consider the quality, the size, and the price, we'll bet you start wondering why you ever thought you needed more. Granted, it might not be the cleverest or most sophisticated chorus pedal around, but if you want that 90s charm, look no further. The number 5 position is held by ProCo Rat 2. The ProCo Rat has one of the most memorable and iconic distortion tones of all. Its ever-distinguishable black enclosure is sitting on pedal boards all over the world, and for good reason. For a pedal called the Rat, you'd expect the tone to be ugly, dirty, and turn up some noses, and while it does achieve those exact tonal aims, this is not a pedal to run screaming from. If the sound you've been dreaming of is a thick, punchy, powerful distorted guitar tone, then this is one of the best pedals you could buy to help you achieve that. At both low and high gain settings, you'll get a dynamic, aggressive response which will help you take your tone to the next level. Higher gain settings on the Rat may see your guitar tone getting a bit mushy and muddy. The Rat is a classic, old-school distortion pedal, and isn't exactly designed to get you a super precise modern metal tone. If you're looking to be transported back to an 80s punk show in a dirty club, however, this is the pedal for you. The number 6 position is dominated by JHS Pedal's 3 Series Delay. A delay pedal, in our opinion, should be one of the first pedals you buy. There's just something about a delay-laden tone which we can't get over. Maybe it's the expansive, ambient repeats, or the rhythmic aspect, or the fact that it can turn a fairly simple guitar part into a disorientating musical maze. Obviously, when buying any pedal, it's important to strike a healthy balance between price and quality, and with delay pedals being more expensive than many others due to the circuitry inside them, you'll be looking to spend upwards of $/PS70 to get what you need. The JHS 3 Series Delay sits around the $/P700 mark, and we think it's worth spending a bit more on this occasion. Yes, having a utilitarian delay pedal may save you money, but the whole idea behind using delay is that you're embellishing your tone and adding extra things to it to make it more interesting. The 3 Series Delay still only has 3 controls: mix, time, and repeats, which are nothing groundbreaking in themselves, but when combined with the type switch, which alters the sound from a more digital delay to an analog-style sound, the personality and ambience of this pedal comes to the forefront with a little more confidence. We'd like to reiterate that while we recommend you spend a little more on a higher quality delay, there are cheaper options on the market. This is the only 3-digit price tag in this guide, and if you're just starting out, that's a huge investment. Every delay pedal essentially does the same thing, it's just about finding the one that suits you best. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Boss TR2 Tremolo. Make no bones about it, we love Boss pedals. They're iconic in the way that they look and sound, and for what they are, the price is exceptional. The TR2 Tremolo continues their trend, offering you some truly tasteful and sweet-sounding tremolo for what we think is a beginner-friendly price, all considering. When you're looking for a good deal on a pedal, the build quality is something we pay close attention to, and the Boss TR2 is incredibly well built. Beginners tend to find themselves in a bit of a pedal quagmire over whether they should spend a bit more for something that'll last, or buy something cheap just to see what they think. It's difficult, and there's no definitive answer, but we've always found that saving up just a little bit extra made for much more satisfaction in the end. Satisfying is a great way to describe the TR2, in all fairness. The tones it produces can be anywhere from subtle, natural wobble and warmth all the way through to ultra staccato and chopped up. The setup, while simple, offers a wide range of tweaking, making this tremolo pedal perfect for most players, in fact not just beginners. The number 8 position is held by TC Electronic Skysurfer Reverb. We're honestly not sure how TC Electronic does it, but in the Skysurfer we have yet another well-built, all-metal enclosed effects pedal for under $/PS40. For something that's designed to be stomped on, this design element is something we're eternally thankful for, and we're pretty pleased with the sounds this pedal creates too. The Reverb pedal is a hugely underrated addition to anyone's pedal board. While some amps will have reverb built in, there are still many that don't. If you've ever tried to play guitar without even the smallest bit of reverb. You'll know that. While it's possible, it sounds dry, a bit fake, and a little bit flat. Enter the Skysurfer, a compact reverb pedal that offers spring, plate, and hall type reverb effects, helping to bring your tone to life. Having the option of any of those three is a bonus too, especially for a beginner. It allows you to try a few different settings out first of all, to see what you do and don't get on with. Like most of TC's more budget-friendly pedals, the Skysurfer isn't anything too fancy. It's a simple pedal with a layout which is intuitive and easy to use, and most importantly of all, it sounds great. While it might not be capable of some super ambient soundscapes, it does the basics as well as any pedal 3 or 4 times the price. Next at number 9, we have Dunlop Crybaby GC-B95. There are few pedals more memorable than the wah pedal. Everyone's heard that sound, the wacka wacka from the Shaft theme song. It's a sound which people will never forget, and a sound which helped to shape the style of so many guitarists. The wah pedal is a go-to for players of funk, rock, metal, pop, and so many in between, and that's why we think you should have one too. The GC-B95 is the cheapest wah pedal in Dunlop's catalog. But don't let that make you think it's of a lesser quality to the others. It's still as solid, sturdy, and trustworthy as ever with this model, even featuring a red facial inductor, something which is usually only found in vintage wahs. This inductor, along with the 100 hot pots potentiometer, gives this version of the GC-B95 a smoother and sweeter frequency sweep, meaning that your wah-accompanied riffing will sound even greater. The GC-B95 has quite an aggressive sweep, but this is by no means a negative thing. This wah pedal is capable of cutting through huge amounts of distortion to get you its signature sound. Whether you'd like to channel your inner Tom Morello, John Frusciante, or Jimi Hendrix, or even indulge in some cocked wah tones reminiscent of Zakk Wylde, this is the wah for you. Assuming that you've heard some guitar-based music in your life, you've also heard an overdrive effect being used. Overdrive is the most common effect to be used on a guitar, as it is often produced both naturally with an amp and artificially with a pedal. Without getting too nerdy here, an overdriven guitar tone is produced when your input volume pushes your amp past its ability to create a clean guitar tone. That's all for today. We upload music product review videos in every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for the upcoming video notification.